I'm Brett, and I've developed a new, simple, modern spiritual philosophy. And in this series of videos, I'd like to tell you all about it. So stay tuned, and if you like what you're hearing, tell other people about it, comment, ask me questions, and we'll go forward from there. Thank you very much. Hi, and welcome back to You Know Yourself with me, Brett. And I'm going to be continuing to sort of critique and scrutinize some of the maybe primary and secondary ideas that are in You Know Yourself. And I think what I've also just realized, just while looking at some of the prep for this particular episode, that what I'm also doing is maybe clarifying some points that I may or may not have made. And so I'm definitely making sure they're being stated right now. And one of those ideas is the one that we're going to look at right now, which is the difference between choosing help and complying with help, which there is a difference with those things. I'm acutely aware that all the time I'm banging on about exercise your body, mind, soul, and spirit, because the cycle of disempowerment disempowers you, doesn't encourage you, doesn't support the idea of you doing those things. So those things have become weak in human society and in the individual. Society is making it so, and then the individual is suffering because they have a weak body, mind, soul, and spirit. And in the process of describing exercising those, I've also described what the body, mind, soul, and spirit are. And I'm aware that by saying that, it could sound like, and it could sound like there's an implication of do it all on your own. Don't accept any outside input at all. Just do it all by yourself, and that's how you can create a stronger body, mind, soul, and spirit by exercising them. And that's not entirely what I'm saying. And so if I haven't made that clear, which to be fair, I'm not entirely sure I have, then I'm certainly trying to make it clear now. I'm trying to make clear the distinction between choosing help as a conscious, aware choice that you're making, and scrutinizing that help, and complying with help because you're not really making a choice about it. You're just kind of doing as you're told, and receiving stuff and receiving information and receiving inputs and going with it. So let's see if I can make some distinction between those two viewpoints. The two viewpoints that I'm sort of scrutinizing and critiquing are choosing help and complying with help. So maybe, and as always, anything I'm saying is for you to then scrutinize and see what you think about it yourself. I do not claim to have the answer. I'm putting forward some ideas for you to scrutinize and for you to think about. Maybe you've already thought about these ideas, maybe you haven't. I don't know. There's an invite, as always, for you to contemplate them and scrutinize them and see what you think. So maybe choosing help looks like or involves you having exercised your body, mind, soul, and spirit, you choosing to receive that help, or choosing to go look for that help. You've understood there's something missing, some information you need, some input you need, some coaching you need, something you need that you think would be helpful to the continual development of your body, mind, soul, and spirit, the continual growth, the continual moving into new areas, whatever it is that you've decided on, whatever it is that you think would be useful for you to move towards. And having an exercised strong body, mind, soul and spirit, having the ability to do, having the ability to understand, having the ability to feel how you feel about, having the ability to feel your feelings, and having the ability to make a choice which might well be informed by your ability to do, your ability to understand, and your ability to feel your feelings, you might well then go out and choose to seek some help, guidance, coaching, whatever it may be. So that's how it might look on one side. How it might look on the other side of complying with help is that you're just receiving help without having gone and asked for it, without having gone and searched for it or seeking for it, and it's just being presented to you, and you're almost sort of expected to take it on. And when you take it on, you're taking it on without scrutinizing it, or without asking yourself, is this the help that I think will be useful, or am I willing to employ some of this help and see whether or not it actually helps? Yeah, I think that's what complying with help rather than choosing help might look like. So the real question that is being scrutinized here is, where does you know yourself and the core principles that I'm putting forward about the makeup of the human body, mind, soul and spirit, and the concept that perhaps we could exercise those things and make them strong as a counterpoint to the cycle of disempowerment, which is by its very existence disempowering people and atrophying our abilities of body, mind, soul and spirit. Where do those core principles sit? Am I aiming them and hoping that people will comply with it, or am I offering it and saying, if this is useful to you and you think it might help you, then by all means scrutinize it, play with it, experiment with it, see what happens. So let's look at the arguments for and against. For the idea that I'm presenting it for you to comply with, and the argument that I'm presenting it as just a series of ideas that you can do what you want with. So let's start with that. Let's start with the first one of it's something for you to comply with. That I'm here as every other leader going, I've got some help for you, but you must, if you do it, you will get a great result, and you don't know that you need this help, but you do need it. So, which is what every leader says. Every leader says, you don't know this, but you need this help. And not just political leaders. You know, there's like this growing self-help, growing wellness industry that's based around people telling you about the meditation you have to do, the yoga you have to do, the breathing exercises you have to do to help you achieve peace and calm, so that you can achieve a different state, so you can achieve wellness. And as per usual, with any leader-follower paradigm, they all follow the same idea of, I have the one and only right answer. This is the correct answer. You should engage in this answer. And by doing so, it will help you. Whether you've asked for it or not, whether you think that's the sort of help that you need or not, this is the answer. And as the cycle, and so they fit in the cycle. Even the wellness industry fits in the cycle of disempowerment, because then by telling you that, they're implying, I know more than you, you're not enough to come up with the answer yourself, someone other than you is more knowledgeable than you, and this is the one and only fixed answer, and it will be the one and only fixed answer forever. So it's very easy for people, And everyone is. When I say people, everyone's in the cycle of disempowerment, me included. Okay, I don't get a choice as to what sort of society that I live in. There is just society, and that's it. I don't, as I've explained in previous videos, I don't look down from the hill and go, that settlement over there is run completely differently to that settlement over there. The rules and regulations and the policies are completely different. Completely different. They don't have school and a health system and a police system. They have some other completely different system going on than that settlement over there. It's not like that. Towns might appear to be slightly different, but we've got one overarching society that runs the whole thing. As one example of how I am in the cycle of disempowerment, we are all in the cycle of disempowerment. That is the point. And when we're in that cycle of disempowerment, we have become used to the idea of somebody presenting help, somebody presenting their ideas of what they think it is we need, and us kind of going, okay, then I'll just do that then. It is not encouraged. The leaders, everyone from the political leaders through to the spiritual guru, very rarely, if ever, and I don't really think they do properly, none of them say, these are just some ideas. You play with them. Go and experience other ideas. Play them off against each other. See which one works for you, and then choose the idea that is useful to you. I don't hear that. I don't hear that. Some of the spiritual gurus might suggest questioning things, but I don't think I've ever heard any of the spiritual gurus talk about, don't just read my stuff, go and read other people's stuff. Go and follow more than one master and see which one is useful to you, or take bits from all of them. Most of them are saying, if not all of them are saying, no, question things, but just follow me as the one and only master, and with the one and only answer. So we become accustomed to receiving help without questioning it, without scrutinizing it, without experimenting with it. And because people are used to that, there is, of course, the reality that people might read my stuff, might read the core ideas of the cycle of disempowerment and the build-up of the body, mind, soul, and spirit, and they might say, oh, this is... And they might treat it like every other idea or every other paradigm that's been put forward, and go, oh, this is the answer. I shall receive this help and not scrutinize it and not question it. So there is, although it's not my intent to do that, it might result, me putting out these ideas might result in that. It might result in people complying with the help. But what's the counterpoint of that? What's the argument against that? What's the argument against that which says, no, that's not what I'm trying to do? And the argument against that is simply, no, that's not what I'm trying to do. And hopefully I've explained it enough times, and I hope I've explained it enough times, and I will keep explaining it, and hence this episode, that whatever ideas I'm putting forward are purely for you to scrutinize. I do not believe, and I know I'm putting myself in a vulnerable position when I say this, I do not believe that my answers are the one and only answers. I have stated outright that they are sort of a beginner's guide, I want to say. for you to get a basic fundamental understanding, if you agree with them and if you want to go with them, for you to then go out and experiment with more things and find out more things and research more things. I absolutely advocate the idea of read other people's stuff, see where my stuff may or may not fit in with their stuff, make up your own mind about which ideas you want to take on, which ideas are useful for you. What I'm also saying is that we have the ability to understand and the ability to feel our feelings and to use those abilities when we're taking on new information, new coaching, new guiding, new help, and to use our understanding and to use our awareness of our feelings to see what those new ideas, what those coaching, what that advice brings out. It is perfectly acceptable to hear some help or some advice or some coaching, put it through your own understanding and go, no, I don't really think that applies to me. I don't think that's what I need right now. I think I need something else. Or to put it into your feeling and to go, that gives me a feeling that doesn't feel like it's going to be useful. That gives me a feeling of whatever it may be, and that's not the feeling I'm looking for, or that I think I want, or the feeling that I feel like I'm missing. That's possibly, I don't know for certain because I don't have an end goal in mind, but I wonder if that's possibly what an empowered person might well do over a disempowered person. Maybe a disempowered person just goes, oh, I don't know. Maybe an empowered person might still say, I don't know, but I'm willing to go and experiment, and I'm willing to see what the result is, and then I'm willing to accept or disregard whatever it is that's being presented to me. At the moment, because of the cycle of disempowerment, I'm not entirely sure that I see a society of people who are willing to take on ideas, grapple with them, experiment with them, and then decide and then consciously choose themselves whether they keep those ideas or disregard them. Because there's a real difference in that. There's a real difference in choosing what help you take on and what help you disregard, and what help you might say, it's very kind of you to offer, but that's not what I need or want right now. Thank you very much. So where does you know yourself and its core ideas sit between those two paradigms, those two ideas of, am I suggesting you just comply with this, or is there something for you to take on? I think perhaps, as usual, irrespective of the idea that my intent is to offer you something for you to then grapple with, because of the cycle of disempowerment, people are used to just taking things on and maybe not wrestling with them and not making a conscious choice. And I'm also aware that maybe, and this might be a sort of slight tangent, but I'm not actually offering an end result. So people might look at this and go, is this really help? You mean you're not telling me what I'm going to get at the end of this? Because there is no end to it, and because I don't know what the result for you personally would be if you exercise your body, mind, soul and spirit. If you exercise your ability to do, your ability to understand, your ability to feel your feelings, and your ability to choose, especially that last one, I don't know what choices you'll make. It's not for me to tell you what choices to make. That's what other leaders do. That's the point. That's the cycle of disempowerment kind of almost summed up. They're telling you what choices to make. Most often without even telling you outright, they're implying them. They're creating it so that you can't really make any other choice. They create the institutes, the education system, the health system, the police system, and they don't offer you an alternative. So there's no choice there. There's no choice. When there's no alternative, there's no choice. All right. So they're telling you what outcome is going to come from it, irrespective of whether they're telling you directly or whether they're implying it. I'm not telling you what the outcome is going to be for you personally or for society as a whole if we were to exercise our ability to do, exercise our ability to understand, exercise our ability to feel our feelings, and exercise our ability to choose. I have no idea what the outcome of that would be. But there is an invite for you to do that. I'm not actually, do you know what? There's not even really an invite for you to do that. I'm saying we're not doing that. If you want to do that, you're welcome to. If you don't want to, you're also welcome to. If you want to take everything I'm saying here and go, it's a load of poppycock and not engage with it anymore, don't. It's really fine. That's really okay. Hence why I'm not creating, hence why there's no course for you to follow, because a course would imply that there's an outcome at the end. It would imply that I think I'm right about this and I can charge you money to come along to the course, to come along to the retreat for the weekend, to come along to the year-long based course with its weekends here and there and its retreats for you to go on. No, there's just some really simple basic ideas that I'm presenting to you for you to grapple with and to decide for yourself with what you make about them. So that's my intent. I mean, it's really not even help. These are, as per one of the previous episodes, these are observations I'm making. I'm observing that people do not exercise their body, mind, soul, and spirit, and that is an option. Are you aware that is an option, people? It is an option for you to exercise your body, mind, soul, and spirit. And I've given a clear definition of what those four things are, so it's not really complicated. You don't have to join some 6-month-long course where at the end of it you'll have some deep understanding of what those things are, because they're so complicated, because I've had to make them complicated because then I can warrant charging you money for them. They're really simple. They're really simple ideas, as discussed in other previous videos that you can find. I'm simply putting forward the idea that, did you know it's an option for you to exercise your body, mind, soul, and spirit? And did you know that according to what I think I can see, not underneath the level, not scratch away, not behind the scenes, but right overtly, right there, right in front of us, we have what's called the cycle of disempowerment, that's kind of disempowering us from exercising our body, mind, soul, and spirit. And when I present those to you, I could see how it could look like help that you're supposed to just comply with. Oh, right, so you're telling me that I've got to go and exercise my body, mind, soul, and spirit. Okay. And that will somehow free me from the suffering created by the society, by the cycle of disempowerment that I exist in. I can't guarantee an outcome, and I'm not going to guarantee an outcome, and I don't even know what that outcome would be anyway, because if you were to exercise your body, mind, soul, and spirit, you would do that in your own particular way, and it might bring out particular results that are just for you, and I don't know what those are, but you will know what they are when you do them. If you choose to do them, you may not do. So I'm aware that those two counterpoints exist: complying with help and choosing help. Ultimately, I'm kind of saying that we're not very good at choosing things because we've had that ability atrophy through the cycle of disempowerment. So people might well receive the core ideas of, you know, yourself as something they're supposed to do, and they might comply with the help that they think is being offered. My intent is to put it out there as an observation that you can then grapple with and play with and come up with some sort of result yourself after you're grappling and processing with it. And in many respects, I wonder if it might then create the possibility, if you really become conscious of your own ability to understand and your ability to feel your feelings and your ability to choose, maybe people will then be able to choose what future help they need from there. Because as I say, this, you know yourself, is very much beginner surface, beginner fundamental levels right at the beginning. There's nothing in this there's nothing in this that then can't be developed more, and you can go and seek further ideas and push into the details. This is real fundamental foundation stuff, you know yourself. The idea being that it's almost a springboard for you to then consciously choose what further help you may think that you want. I can't control the way it's received. I can only do my best to try and communicate it with the intent that I have. The intent that I have is for you to take this material on, play with it, struggle with it, scrutinise it, critique it, and apply your own understanding and your own ability to understand and your own ability to feel your feelings, and then your ability to choose what you do with the material. Yeah, I think I'll leave it there. I think that's long enough. Thank you very much for listening. If you're enjoying these, or if they're giving you reason to think, or if they're presenting ideas that you haven't thought about, I don't know, or they're reinforcing ideas you have thought, whatever it may be, if you think they're worth sharing with other people, then please do so. Please subscribe, all that stuff. You know what to do. We're in the social media age. And thank you very much for watching if you've come this far. And I'll see you again soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.